Hello, everybody. So since all of y'all are too tired to read or sick and tired of reading all my shit, I guess I'll post my first real video of something that I wrote that maybe you guys laugh at. I'm not real sure if you even laugh at me. So here it goes. Um, you know, basically, I already fucked it up. Put a basically in there, but I can't be the only 25-year-old person on the planet that hasn't bought into the hype of electronic dance music. I mean, if you want to talk about fair, then I'll give it its fair treatment. I mean, it serves its purpose. It's lively, can generate that emotion that sparks that need to dance. But beyond that, I really don't see what the fuss is about. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get the purpose of a bunch of computer generated instrumentals. It's like the 21st century music of classical music, like Skrillex is the next fucking Mozart or some shit like that. And it just, you know, doesn't make sense to me. For God's sake, I mean, are poets dead? Are all the poets dead? Must be. You know, and I kind of came in like a wrecking ball, tried to steal from a Hollywood hunk all of all the crazy ass things I've done in my life. I figured, why the fuck not? I mean, shit. Can't get any much more crazier than the shit that I do, so, you know. But no one in their right mind would take a bucktooth, fat, you know, uh, asshole who hasn't accomplished shit but achieving some half-ass, I exist, but act like you don't know who the fuck I am sort of fame. I mean, the good news is, in the optimistic outlook of this whole thing, is that I am only 25. I can grind it out, get my shit together. A sort of backup plan is welding. I did a little something like that at the AC factory I worked at before I quit this job for this apparent long shot. That's the truth, isn't it? This relationship is so unlikely. Not even Hollywood could write this shit. Granted, Shakespeare tried, but at the end, the girl was too young and they both killed themselves. I mean, it's a tragedy, I guess. And then, I guess that's true. The true moral of Romeo and Juliet. Love truly had no limits, but in the eyes of society. And if nothing about it is right, whether morally or something that's never quite happened before, then really, you only have two options. You could let it be and move on and find something that is normal and acceptable, or you can share a glass of poisoned wine and hope that eternity truly is better than this fucked up shade of life we've created for ourselves. But like I said, EDM has its purpose, like all genres of music do. Metal makes you want to kick someone's ass. Alternative rock, sort of edgy and rebellious, for those good kids and your parents, because mommy and daddy want to relate. So go ahead, listen to those Arctic Monkeys some more. Your parents will love that shit. Um, you know, Punk rock is for those politically driven by conspiracy theories and have a genetic disposition for anarchy. Anarchy in the USA! Hip hop is for black people. It really is. And I don't want to make this a racist thing. I mean, I get enough of that shit already, to be honest with you. But, I mean, if you want to quote Slim Shady on anything, the best thing he ever said was, "And a million white rappers will emerge." And that's the goddamn truth of it all. That's all you see nowadays. I mean, even with my hat all fucking backwards, I've even got this Slim Shady fucking thing. Aside from the Motley Crue shirt and my fucking mohawk, I mean, Jesus Christ, I even look like Slim Shady over here. And that's not to take credit for Eminem or, Macklemore. And those are really the only two white guys that I've heard any songs that I like from. So, I mean, I'm not going to give too many people credit here. But, you know, it's just not something white people wake up and have a knack for. You know, I mean, white people just don't wake up in the morning and have that. They're just not poets. Natural anyway, you know. And that's just my opinion. And if a white kid typically, you know, especially in the suburbs, is a little bit of a poet, they generally listen to Screamo and they scream their lyrics so you can't hear their pain or understand what the fuck they're talking about, and they probably go home and cut themselves at the end of the night, you know. And I don't want to make too light of suicide because it's some that I've dealt with personally, but at the same time, I mean, it is kind of stupid. I mean, there's really no point to kill yourself. There's always room for another fight, if anything, if that's all you ever live for. So, I mean, you know. But, you know, for the sake of humor, it is funny to poke fun at certain people. So, if you're thinking about cut yourself, please don't. I mean, nobody wants to see that. And it's really not that bad. Get drunk and do something. Whatever. Get high. I don't give a shit. Whatever you want to do. Whatever makes you happy, do it. You know, and rap, and, you know, I'm talking about like gangster rap. You know, the hip hop and rap are kind of the same thing, but there's that little slight difference. And rap is for G's, thugs, gangsters. You know, that's truly who it's intended for. You know, for those few people who are actually out there on the streets doing the crazy shit, and for rich people and athletes. You know, some movie stars, definitely athletes. I mean, who else can really relate to that shit other than people who have a shitload of money that they could spend at will, you know, and not have to really worry about shit because they're always constantly getting paid buttloads of money. Nobody else in this fucking world can relate to that shit. Nobody knows. You know, it's stupid. I mean, you know, and the occasional rap song is nice to aspire to. I mean, who doesn't want to be, you know, making it rain or driving a Bentley or, you know, some shit like that, you know, I mean, but, you know, if you've ever actually made it rain or you got a million lap dances or had the chance to drive a really expensive car and not found a certain level of humility, I mean, that's a definition of a pompous asshole. I mean, you got all that money, you're doing all this shit, and you're talking about it, that's all you're doing is bragging, and you're just a fucking asshole is all you are. That's plain and simple. And that is, of course, unless you're a real gang member and affiliated with real drugs. Then, of course, it's the ghetto version of Keeping Up with the Smiths. But I'm basically sitting here saying that if you're just a Smith, you're just a pompous asshole. You're an arrogant fucking prick and nobody likes you. And, well, now back to the EDM, the electric dance music. I mean, its purpose is for dancing. I'm not sold on all that hippie plur shit at all. Peace, love, unity, respect, my ass. My ass. But you know, if it's just this generation's excuse to go to a place and get stoned off your ass and have meaningless sex, by all means, I'm the idiot for not keeping up with the times. Because what 24-year-old guy doesn't want to have meaningless sex of any kind? I mean, for Christ's sake, it's not like girls are just throwing it out, throwing that pussy out there sober unless you look like Austin Butler or Zac Efron. For a guy like me, the only meaningless sex you ever really have is when sobriety has gone out the window. Like, sobriety's gone, bitches don't give a fuck, we're just here getting fucked up off our asses, the music's good, let's jump around, now let me pull my pussy out and you stick your dick in it. And it's like, alright, yeah, you know, too bad I don't like the music though. You know, love getting pussy, you know, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I guess in the moment, in the heat of the moment, then yeah, I'm all into it too, but I mean, you know, well, maybe that's why I can never make these relationships a real thing. I mean, we keep talking about love, but really, that flower only means one thing. We know it does. We know that flower does not mean love. Because we keep having to come back to this shit right here. And I mean, I've been hurt. I've been very, very, very angry. Whiskey, beer, metal, and hard rock allow me to find that place in my soul that says I'm not alone in this world. And I guess that's my definition of music and how, it should be expressed. I mean, I definitely feel that rock and roll definitely makes me want to fuck too, but I mean, that's just one man's dick, I mean, it ain't barking up any of the right trees, apparently, and I still can't, because I can't seem to find a goddamn rocker anywhere on this planet that isn't under like 50 years old. And rockers out there, then much love from me. I'll keep it alive if I can, if these fuckers don't kill me first. But I mean, skaters, surfers, the whole lot of G gangster wannabes are all I seem to see. That's all any girl like sends me, and every girl I like is this happy-go-lucky, no goddamn worries in the world, totally optimistic, good vibes, always looking on the bright side, mostly kind version of everything I'm not. I'm not that type of person, not even a little bit. On my best day, I'm still an asshole, And the things that keep us apart and drive me to bitter hatred and disappointment are magazine cutouts of celebrities dressed as shit they were paid to wear, so you will buy it and force the guy you're fucking to wear. That's all there is to it. And that and this new form of music that really has no soul to speak of until you've reached that point where you no longer give a fuck and you just want to have fun. Until I met this girl, never met anyone who listens to it sober. I mean, we all dance in our car. Everybody does that shit, or sing in it. I mean, I like to believe everybody does that shit, but I mean, I've never seen anybody sober that has that shit on, and it's just, I mean, more power to you, really. I mean, and all that bass is just kind of obnoxious unless you like to use your car as a vibrator, like my ex does, the girl in North Carolina, And the ex before her is nothing but a goddamn club rat. And that's probably where her bastard son came from in the first damn place. And why the father's not around. I mean, they probably met each other at a rave, fell in love, popped out a kid, shit got real. He split like the millions of douchebag fathers in America. Now she wants that same slutty lifestyle back and is never given up on, but thinks of me as the answer to all her problems. A fat, lonely, pathetic drunk she can turn into a California skater and drag to the club every goddamn weekend to suck off her DJ friends she has probably sucked off a dozen times before just by the looks in their eyes, and teach her little bastard how to be a big, strong man. Ooh. If I didn't have any dreams of my own, it may not be such a bad gig. Then again, the little bastard didn't even come out of my nutsack, and he's already stolen my dreams. So, your magazine cover was great, Sabrina. God bless America. And if you don't believe in God, well, that's your fucking choice. I mean, I don't like the asshole most of the time, but I don't really believe in people neither.